Picture this. You're calling friends, begging them to lend you money. Your IRS check bounces. You've got $500,000 in debt for a crumbling racetrack that might never make a profit. This was Garrett Mitchell in 2020, the man behind Cleetus McFarland. Most people would call this insanity. He called it his dream. But before the money problems, before the controversies that nearly destroyed him, before building a multi-million-dollar empire, there was just a law student with a camera and a ridiculous mullet wig. What happened next would either make him a legend or leave him completely broke. It started as a joke at 3 in the morning, June 2015, Rocky Mountain Race Week, and Garrett Mitchell was exhausted from filming content for 1320 video. He grabbed a cheap mullet wig, threw on some aviators, and started talking in an exaggerated southern accent. The video was supposed to be throwaway content, something to laugh about with friends. He uploaded it and went to sleep. When he woke up, everything had changed. 1 million views overnight. The comments were flooded with people demanding more of this character. They wanted Cleetus McFarland, not Garrett Mitchell. But here's the thing nobody tells you about going viral. It doesn't pay the bills immediately. Mitchell was still working his regular job at 1320 Video, still attending law school classes, still drowning in student debt. YouTube ad revenue in 2015 was a joke compared to today. He was creating a character that millions loved, but he wasn't making enough money to justify the time it consumed. Friends told him it was a phase. His family hoped he'd finish law school and get a real career. The internet wanted more Cleetus, and Garrett Mitchell was stuck in the middle, trying to figure out which path would define the rest of his life. Law school isn't cheap. By 2016, Mitchell had racked up serious student loan debt, the kind that follows you for decades. His parents had supported his education, believing their son would become a successful attorney. His grandparents were proud that someone in the family was pursuing higher education. Then he told them he wanted to drop out to become a full-time YouTuber, playing a redneck character named Cleetus. The silence on the other end of those phone calls said everything. They thought he'd lost his mind. The math didn't make sense on paper. YouTube was paying him maybe a few thousand a month if he was lucky. Law school graduates were making 6 figures. He was choosing financial uncertainty over stability, gambling on a platform that could change its algorithm tomorrow and destroy his income. But Mitchell saw something others didn't. The audience was growing faster than any traditional career path could match. Every video pulled in hundreds of thousands of views. People were buying merchandise. The character had taken on a life beyond his control. So he made the call. He dropped out, disappointed everyone who believed in him, and went all in on Cleetus McFarland. No backup plan, no safety net. Just a mullet wig and a dream that everyone else thought was absolutely insane. January 2020. Mitchell stood in front of a dilapidated racetrack in Bradenton, Florida. DeSoto Speedway had been abandoned, left to rot for years. The place was a disaster. Cracked pavement, rusted fences, buildings falling apart. It would cost a fortune to repair. Most people would have walked away. Mitchell saw the Freedom Factory. He needed $500,000 to buy it. There was just one problem. He didn't have $500,000. This is where most people's dreams die. Banks weren't exactly lining up to give loans to a YouTuber who pretended to be a Southern stereotype for a living. So Mitchell did something desperate. He called his friends. He explained the vision, a racetrack where his fans could come watch events, where he could film content, where the car community could gather. Some believed him. Others probably thought he'd lost it. But they lent him the money anyway. The purchase went through, but barely. There's a story that his IRS check bounced during part of the transaction. He was literally past broke, operating in negative numbers, betting everything on a racetrack that might never turn a profit. One bad month of YouTube revenue and the whole thing would collapse. The Freedom Factory was either going to be his greatest success or the financial mistake that destroyed him completely.